Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to the daily quiz for 29th February 2024. Very unique day. Once in 4 years we get the opportunity to do the quiz for this day. And before I start the quiz, two important announcements. One, if you know, great. If you don't know, you must be knowing that we are having our prelims test series which is going on. So you can subscribe to that, you can register in the link that is provided with this daily quiz, and you can subscribe for that. Number two, coming weekend on Saturday, exactly at 6 p.m. 2nd March, I'm going to conduct a workshop where I shall tell you how to prepare for the UPSC Civil Services Exam 2025. It's a free workshop, it's a must-attend workshop. It will clarify most of your doubts regarding how to go about this exam and 2025 specifically. So if you haven't, do set the reminder right now. Moving ahead, let us look at the first question. Question 1, consider the following statements. The Genome India project was approved by the government in 2020 with the aim of creating a comprehensive inventory of the genetic variations found in the Indian population. 2. The Genome India project could help identify genetic mutations in the Indian population that make them vulnerable to specific diseases. And point number 3, genome refers to the overall genetic material present in an organism. Now, how many of these statements are correct? Now, yesterday only I did the discussion on this topic, so I have taken this question today. If you all remember, the Department of Biotechnology, they had announced on 27th February that they have officially completed the 10,000 genome project. What is this? This is basically an attempt to create a reference database for the entire genome sequences of the Indian population. So, this much, you can understand, if all these sequences are there, the genetic mutations would be identified. Now, once we identify that, you all know in many of Indian societies, the Indian societies are endogamous, so many diseases might be very peculiar to our population. So, through these help of these genetic mutations, we would know which population is vulnerable to which specific disease. So one has to be a correct statement. Number 2, here we just have to know, was it approved by the government in 2020 or not? Because rest I told you that there is an aim of creating comprehensive inventory of the genetic variations found in the Indian population. Now this, if you knew, it would have been a cakewalk. If you did not know, you would have got confused. But let me tell you, this is a correct statement. It was done in 2020 only. So, sorry, I should not cut this one. So, 2 statements are correct. What about the third one? Genome refers to the overall genetic material present in an organism. Absolutely correct statement. The entire set of DNA instructions that are found in the cell is referred as genome. So the third one is also correct. So the answer to this question is C, all 3. Moving ahead, you can see this is the article from where we have taken this question and discussed this yesterday. All the statements are mentioned over here, which are correct one. Second, consider the following statements regarding Small Satellite Launch Vehicle SSLV. The SSLV is a 3-stage launch vehicle configured with the 3 solid propulsion stages and a liquid propulsion based velocity trimming module as the terminal stage. Number 2, SSLV caters to the launch of satellites weighing up to 500 kg into low Earth orbits on a launch on demand basis. Now, again, which of the following is true? Now, please understand, SSLV, is a small lift launch vehicle. Of course, it's not mentioned, but just to tell you, it has been developed by ISRO. Now, there are some facts here. If you know, is it up to 500 kg? Yes. The payload is 500 kg. So, they can deliver 500 kg or even can go to the lesser one, let's say 300 kg also. But what we needed to know is 500 kg, can it do? Yes. So, it caters to this into low Earth orbits. Your point number 2 is correct. So, D is wrong. This is wrong. So, on launch on demand basis, this is done absolutely correct. Now, is it a 3-stage launch vehicle? Does it have 3 solid propulsion stages? And does it have a liquid propulsion based velocity trimming module as the terminal stage? Now, this is also a correct statement. I have not changed anything just to show you. You can see yesterday and day before yesterday, both the days we have talked that Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi had dedicated 3 projects to the country, 3 projects of the ISRO. And apart from that, you can see here, this is your SSLV, on-demand access to space for small satellites. Now, configuration and the payload capability is given here. So, under this, single, multiple satellites, nano, micro or mini it can be. Single satellites can take up to 500 kg, 500 kilometer planar orbit, and there are 3 multiple satellites ranging from 10 to 300. Of course, apart from this, you can see 3 solid propulsion stages, liquid module as the terminal stage, and then some other dimensions. Now, I would ask you to remember this. There is no other way to solve such questions other than knowing them. Moving ahead, your third question, consider the following regarding Pancheshwar multipurpose project. Now, those who know this project, which is on the river Sharda, many times pronounced and written as Sharda. In India, we call Sharda. In Nepal, it is known as Mahakali. So, Pancheshwar Dam, which is situated or which is built on this, is a rock-filled dam. And it is constructed on this river, which basically forms a, I would say, boundary between India and Nepal. It's like an international boundary between India and Nepal. So, as you can see, Mahakali River, absolutely correct. It is being constructed on that. And it is making up the border of India and Nepal, the international boundary. So, 1 is correct. Now, this cannot be correct. 2. The project aims to generate this much electricity divided equally between the 2 parties. Now, trust me, when I was making these 2 points, I really did not like the points. But yet I made. Because mostly you cannot remember so much of data. And if so much of data is being given, it's very, very tough for us to remember this. But here it is correct, and this is also correct that this will be divided equally between the 2 parties. So that means A cannot be the answer. Lastly, it will provide irrigation facilities to this much land in Nepal and this much land in India. Again, I'm saying very bad question. If you think, will UPSC ask? They have asked such questions. So we should be prepared for this. We cannot remember exact how much of land they will be irrigating. But here both of them are correct. So the answer to this question is all 3 are correct statements. So if you see here, Pancheshwar Dam, and I have picked this, exactly from here. You can see here. This project is aimed at generating around this much, and the irrigation would be of this much. So, such data usually you cannot remember that much of data, but then sometimes questions can come and we should be totally prepared for that. Moving ahead, let's move to the 4th question. Consider the following statements, and this question is about Katchatheevu Island. It's a 285-acre uninhabited island in the Park Strait between India and Sri Lanka. Is located about 14 nautical miles from Rameshwaram, India. Now, trust me, I never thought Katchatheevu will be so big. I had always studied that Katchatheevu is a small island that is between India and Sri Lanka. I knew it is in Park Strait. I knew it's a disputed island which was resolved way back in 1974. But when I saw today that this is 285 acre, I was also surprised. So here I put this, and this is correct. It is around 14 nautical miles. This is also correct. So 1 is correct. BD cannot be the answer. Number 2, in the year 1974, the then Prime Ministers Indira Gandhi and R.D. Bandaranaike signed an agreement recognizing Katchatheevu as part of the Sri Lankan territory. Absolutely correct. This was done in those days in order to resolve this dispute that was existing between Indian and the Sri Lankan, I would say, countries. And even today, it's a very emotive issue, and many people are not always happy about this. And time and again, many issues keep on getting cropped up, mainly because of the treatment of the fishermen who go over there and they celebrate some festivals. Usually it is celebrated, and I can show you. You can see here, this is an article that had come, and here you can see it is being mentioned on February 17, fishermen have announced that they were boycotting the annual 2-day festival scheduled for February 23rd and 24th at the St. Anthony's Church in this uninhabited islet. So, for this festival, people would go from our side also, people would come from their side also, but then mainly because our fishermen from Tamil Nadu, they are being arrested in large numbers, and our people are not happy with the, I would say, the behavior of the Sri Lankan Coast Guards. So this time we are boycotting that. But anyways, this answer is C, correct. So if you see, all the 4 questions today had the answer as C, 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 C. So does 5 also have the answer C? Let us see that. PYQ 2022 related to polity. Which of the following are the exclusive powers of the Lok Sabha? Ratifying the proclamation of emergency. You all know, if emergency has to be ratified, it needs to get the approval of both the houses. It cannot be by one. One is wrong. I'm sorry. Just a second. One is wrong. That means, just a second. If 1 is wrong, that means A is wrong, D is wrong. Now either 2 will be correct or 3 will be correct. Let us see. 2. Passing a no confidence motion against the Council of Ministers. Absolutely correct. It can only be moved in Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. So 2 is correct. So clearly the answer to this question is B. What about 3rd? Impeachment of the President of India. Again, it can be initiated in either of the houses of the Parliament. You don't need Lok Sabha only for that. 3 is wrong. 3 is wrong. Of course, D becomes wrong now. Earlier C was wrong. So the answer to this question is B. Let us look at the last part. Today's fact, National Rare Disease Policy. It's a news because of the tragic death of the 19-year-old child actress who played the role in the hit movie, a very super hit movie, Dangal. Her name being Suhani Bhatnagar. For those who do not know how did she die, you can see here, the first slide only it is there. She died because of disease called dermatomyositis. It's a rare disorder that causes inflammation in muscles. Came in the same month as the Rare Disease Day, which is marked today. The last day of February now for this year, this is 29th. On the other 3 years, it is 28th. So last day of February every year is consecrated to support crores of individuals who lose their near and dear ones to some rare diseases. So for that, we have chosen this as the fact of the day. Again, please understand the 2 important announcements. Prelims test series are going on. If you want, you can subscribe to that. Link is provided in the comment box. And on this Saturday, very, very important, we are going to do the workshop. So with that, we are done with the session. Do comment, do like, do fill the forms if you want a one-to-one counseling with us. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.